top of the day to you on this wet, rainy, early afternoon. Right now I am waiting a few minutes before I go inside to my therapy appointment. I've been seeing this therapist for 5 months now. Wow, where's the time gone? And I really like her. I've made great progress in those 5 months, but obviously there is so much more I need to work on. But being able to see changes immediately since working with her has been incredible, also very surprising. All right, heading in now, so I'll see you in a bit. Wow, long time no see. Back in the car, which means my session is done. It was a really good session. Had a couple of breakthroughs, so gonna go home now. Well, hello there. A couple days have actually passed since I last filmed.
What?
When it comes to my therapy, I want to be upfront. So I'm going to talk about pricing. Truthfully, the price of therapy is what deterred me the most from actually seeking it. I let that get in the way. So it took me quite a while to finally say to myself, you need this. It is going to be worth it. If you want to invest in yourself, this is something that is worth investing in. I am paying $135 per session. That is on a sliding scale. Because my therapist is out of network. So in order to soften the blow of that $135 per session price, I am going every other week. So I am going to therapy twice a month, essentially. And if I were to break that down to like, what is it? I could do math quickly. $270 total that I'm paying per month. And if I divide that by 4, it's like I'm paying $67.50 per week, even though I'm not going per week. I don't know. I was able to justify it. Let's just say that. Also, seeing my therapist every other week allows me enough time to implement the things that we talked about, implement her suggestions and exercises. She's always giving me challenges and exercises to do for our next session. And I am actually doing them. I also write down the homework that she gives me. So when I come home from my therapy session, I write down, what it is I should work on for the next few weeks. And that also helps me to remember, because it can be overwhelming, especially when I have been doing so well these past 5 months, but it's easy for me to forget. Here's what I want to say about therapy. I had a very difficult, horrible period of my life from the point when my dad passed away in 2014 all the way through to most of 2018. I knew that I needed help, but I couldn't reach out to anybody because I got to such a low point in my life that I know I can't say the word on YouTube. So basically, I didn't want to be here anymore. And I thought about that a lot and contemplated making that a reality. Let's just say that. So it was always on my mind. And from discussions I have had with friends, they also suggested, girl, seek help. In the words of Zachary Marie Michael,
respectfully, go to therapy. Go to therapygirl.com, please, immediately.
But I just couldn't do it. I was living in New York at the time, so I found myself looking up therapists, and I was aware of sliding scale. Some friends told me about that. But I was so hesitant to actually reach out to somebody. If you were to ask me why that was, I would really have to sit and think about it. I was scared for one. I also grew up being avoidant, like avoid my problems, avoid dealing with things, and that'll come into play in a little bit. So I just couldn't make that step. I had another reason why, but now I can't think of it. Oh, overwhelmed. That's it. I am a very overwhelmed person. I am that annoying friend. You would absolutely hate me. It's something that I have been working on. But if you were to ask me, hey, what do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. What do you want? I can't make a decision. It's so stupid. Like the most mundane decision. I cannot make it. It's just like, it's too much for me. It's too much for my brain. And it's just like, I want to shut down. I can't do it. And it's likely due to my OCD in some way. And also like, it's very much my anxiety. I know it's my anxiety for a fact. Whatever decision I made had to be right. It had to be perfect. I suffer with a sense of perfectionism. I've had it since I was a little kid. So if I got it wrong with this therapist, I've wasted money. I can't do that. I'm not making a lot of money in my life. So I can't waste money like this. I have to get it right. Even though I have had friends tell me it's okay. You can do a trial and error with therapists. You can shop around for therapists. If you're not feeling it with this one, try out another one. But for me, no, I can't do that. That's wasting money. I cannot waste money. I don't have money. If you don't think I have any issues, hopefully that just proved to you that I do. Moving along, the pandemic hits, and that was a tough time for everybody. Working on Broadway, we shut down with no idea when we were ever going to reopen. So a lot of depression kicked in, a lot of stir craziness, being in a small apartment in New York City with 2 roommates who are both working at home. Like, our apartment didn't even have a living room. We were all just in our bedrooms, and then we had the kitchen area with a table in it. That apartment, I mean, it was fine.
Sorry, I digressed.
At some point, I reconnected with an old high school friend of mine. She works in therapy. She recommended one of her old coworkers to me. So I got in touch with her, and that was my first foray into therapy, something I was very nervous about, to the point that, it was teletherapy. I don't know why I was about to do that. It was teletherapy, but I was scared to be face to face with her. So we would do phone calls. I had to be on a phone call. And she even, suggested, she's like, I'll do whatever feels comfortable for you. But she tried to push me out of my comfort zone. She's like, do you want to do like a Zoom therapy session? And I went, no, I'm fine. I'm fine on the phone. However, thanks to this therapist, I learned that I had unregulated emotions for my entire life. And it made so much sense. So the type of person I've always been since I was a little child, I've been this way. I would suppress all of my emotions, all of my feelings, good or bad, mostly bad, because again, home family environment. I would just suppress these emotions. And then when they got too much, they would explode out of me like a volcano. And I was a very volatile, upset child. I went from 0 to 100 in a split second. There was no in between. So this therapist worked with me to understand my emotions and to learn how to feel them and to actually express them. I made a good amount of progress with her. Unfortunately, she decided to quit her job in therapy and moved to Europe to pursue a passion of hers.
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never, never.
So anyway, lost my therapist, didn't bother to seek out another one. I don't even remember when this all happened during the pandemic. So let's just say like 5 or 6 years passed before I decided to look into therapy again. I mean, I was always looking into it. I'd go online, I'd search therapists in my area, especially when I moved back home, but didn't do anything about it. But I was looking up stuff online. I was trying to understand myself better. So it wasn't so much self-diagnosing, but it was easy to fall into that trap like a certain girl on YouTube. It was a fine line between self-diagnosing and just like trying to understand myself better, because for my entire life, I have struggled with feeling like there's something wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. What the hell is wrong with me? There's something going on with my brain. I came up with a lot of theories. Let's just say that. And then I follow a couple of people on YouTube who are diagnosed with OCD, and they talked about their experiences. And that was the first time like something like truly clicked inside of me, where the way my brain functioned, how I functioned, the way I thought had an explanation. From that point, I did some research to see if I could get a diagnosis that I might have OCD. So that really got the ball rolling. But before I could, dive in to fully exploring that avenue, I had my very first panic attack. I am so grateful for the people that I work with, because I wasn't sure at first. Like, it happened a morning when I was getting ready to go to work. So I got dropped off at the train station. All of this is happening. And then I get to my job and it's still happening. And I said to my managers, I'm like, I think I'm having a panic attack. so many of them helped me, like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, like get something sour, you're going to, splash water on your face. We did breathing exercises together. That was my introduction to box breathing. Actually, it was from one of my coworkers because she suffers from anxiety. So she's like, I know what to do. You got this. I just happened to have a scheduled appointment with my primary care physician. That is so many words from my mouth, the following week. And she actually diagnosed me with anxiety like months before. I was explaining some symptoms to her and I go, I think I'm having a heart attack. I think I'm having heart problems. Heart disease is hereditary on my dad's side of the family. That's how he died. He had heart failure. And my primary care physician goes, honey, that's anxiety. And I went, oh. And that was the first experience I had where so many things in my life made sense. So many moments, so many like experiences just made so much sense to me. I went, oh my God, I have anxiety. So anyway, I go to this appointment. We go through everything and she prescribed me some anti-anxiety medication, which I am currently on. And during that appointment, she goes, I really think you should seek out a psychiatrist. And I go, yeah, I think so too. She had recommended this to me, that first time when she had diagnosed me with anxiety. But again, it was overwhelming, avoidance, trying to like look somebody up. I don't know if it's the right choice. I want to make the right choice. I just couldn't do it. But this, I felt like it was a moment where my back was against the wall. And I thought to myself, yeah, there's a good chance I have OCD and it would explain so much. And I just had my very first panic attack. That could happen again. She also gave me Xanax and that scared me. So I finally sought out a psychiatrist and I sought out a therapist. And that is when I got diagnosed with OCD because I made sure to find a therapist and a psychiatrist who specialized in them to like really, figure this out. And my anti-anxiety medication, per my psychiatrist, she upped it. So that's where I'm at. I'm taking venlafaxine if anybody's interested. When I started venlafaxine, my primary care physician, she prescribed 75 milligrams and that did wonders. But after a month or so, I started feeling very depressed. So my psychiatrist was like talking to me, asking me questions, trying to figure things out. And she goes, I think we need to up your dose. And when she did that, it was like, oh my God, it opened up my world. My brain has never felt so normal. It's like, I had this very heavy, foggy veil over my brain because of depression. And it just lifted up. Everything was clear. I could see the world better and I wanted to cry because of it. When it came to my therapist, there was so much that I wanted to talk about. I didn't get a chance to like explore enough topics with the first therapist. So there was so much that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to explore, and I was overwhelmed, but we just dived in. We talked about the OCD. We talked about my family relationships, my relationship with my mother, and, just figuring out like, how does the OCD present itself? What are you feeling when it happens? She's like the first therapist getting me to feel my feelings because I am avoidant. And going back to the most recent therapy session that I had, we're finally digging deeper into me using food as a coping mechanism. So she's, working with me to actually feel my feelings instead of, wanting to do other things like go for food. Oh, would you look at that scene change? So that has been my therapy journey in a nutshell. I hope that any of you watching this video may have found it informative or interesting. Maybe you are somebody who is like me, avoidant, hesitant to seek therapy, but it's something that you feel you should do. I think that everybody should go through therapy, honestly. Now that I'm in it, I'm like, oh man, why didn't I start sooner? Isn't that the way it always is? If you're able to find the resources out there. I mean, there were some places that I was looking at that they didn't quite tick the box for me, but very affordable outreach programs in my area, which is good to know. Basically, there are many avenues out there, something that I did not realize until now. Go figure. But I hope this video is inspirational to one of you out there. Just one person. That's all I need. If any of you are like me and I can help you out in any way, That would mean a lot to me. That would be amazing. But I am glad that I have had people in my life who have helped steer me in the correct direction, even if I was unwilling to fully listen to them, even if I was combatant, defensive, resistant. I think that's really the word I'm looking for, is resistant. Oh man, I've always been resistant. But again, that ties into being avoidant. Avoid my feelings, avoid the bad feelings, the bad things. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.